Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here today with a Toonami's ratings video. And this ratings from this past Saturday, March 30th, 2024. Let's start at the top of the block. At the top of the block, we have Ninja Kamui at a .09, Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead's premiere at a .08, Lycoris Recoil's, I believe, penultimate episode at a .09, One Piece at a .08, and Naruto Shippuden at a .07. The numbers for Dragon Ball Z Kai and the sub and Ninja Kamui are not available. So if you kind of add them all up and average them, this has been one of the better weeks for Toonami in a while. But at the same time, this is kind of a monkey's paw week if you're familiar with the short story by W. Jacobs. So you asked for, I wish Lycoris Recoil would have good ratings. Well, Lycoris Recoil, I believe this is the highest total viewership and rating it's had its entire time. Kind of makes sense considering we're finally getting to the actual action. We're almost finished the show. It's actually hitting a peak. But, the finger has to curl. And the finger is that Zom 100 will have, at least, relatively speaking, a very, very poor debut on the block. Actually had the exact same viewership. The estimate from Nielsen was 166,000 total viewers, but the rating was a little bit lower at a .08. And I suspect that the numbers are not at all far from each other. Like, I would estimate Lycoris Recoil is probably more like a .085, and Zom 100 is like a .084. So Zom 100 might actually be doing a little better than numbers indicate, but at the same time, if you debut on Toonami and you get built upon by the show after it, especially a show that's been doing notoriously poorly in the ratings like Lycoris Recoil has been doing, that's not really the best sign. In Ninja Kamui, it's I think it's married to the number .09. It's had a couple weeks where it was different. Like I think there was like 1.1 and there was like 1.08. Ninja Kamui, for all of its faults, is a very consistent show in terms of ratings. You have to agree with that. And this week it actually got back over 200,000 viewers. But again, I recall when Demon Slayer let off the block about a month or two ago, it was getting like 400,000 viewers. It was getting like a .13 in the ratings. So it's still a step down from that. But ultimately, probably one of the sturdiest Toonami originals in terms of how its numbers have been. And that's one upside to it. Overall, one thing I like to actually commend is One Piece and Naruto Shippuden doing much better than they've been doing recently. Like Naruto Shippuden for a couple times the past few months have been hitting numbers like .03 and One Piece getting like .04. But you see those numbers basically double. Total viewership for Naruto is back over 100,000. So that's interesting to see. Naruto, I believe I did the math, should be ending in November or December this year, which, fun fact, Naruto Shippuden first debuted on Toonami January 2014, more than a decade ago. Feel old yet? And it was already a few years old by the time it even first aired on Toonami. I mean, dang. I mean, we had Boruto air like what 50 episodes on the block concurrently with Naruto Shippuden, and then get pulled from the block. And back then, that's when Toonami tried making the argument that a .30, not .03, .30 was a bad rating, which is why Boruto got pulled off. So I personally call BS on that. But I'm digressing here. Ultimately, pretty decent week for ratings for Toonami. Interesting to see next week, as it is, if I recall correctly, the finale of Lycoris Recoil, which means probably sometime in the next couple days, I'm expecting. Usually they're like doing this on late Friday afternoons now, and as I'm recording this, it's Thursday afternoon. So stay tuned. Do not be surprised if you see another video from me tomorrow or sometime during this weekend talking about Tanami's new show to replace Lycoris Recoil, because we are getting shows to the block. Like Zom 100 came to the block this past week, and it's full new for Tanami title, even though it's a year or so old at this point. So we are getting names to the block, and it'd be interesting to see what that new show is. And considering that Tanami's been kind of picking around recently, it's gonna be pretty hard to really make a good guess at it. It can really be anything, but what do you guys think? Leave your opinions, leave your comments down below. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.